And then they saw me in a bra, and that was it.
What's going on, Pearl Jam nerds? You are listening to Single Podcast Theory, and I'm Brad Lyons.
And I am Brad Blazek.
100.
100.
100. Can you believe that shit?
I can't.
I really didn't, and not in like a pessimistic way. I don't know that I thought we would have 100 episodes of stuff to do.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, when we got, I don't know, 15 or so in, I'm like, how can we sustain? Like, once we go through all the albums, like, then what?
I know, man.
Like,
it's crazy.
You don't want to do, like, the dregs, like
sure.
episode 100, Eddie's favorite color.
Right. No, we've still got some more episodes to do, I think, for sure, It's not like this is... Yeah, it's cool. It's, we're in a different place than I thought we would be at 100 episodes, in a good way. Especially having just listened through hours and hours of our bullshit, which I feel like I didn't even scratch the surface.
Right.
But I did find kind of themes poking themselves out, above ground. Yeah. And so I tried to kind of grab onto that, but I'll tell you one thing, because I started I didn't get to every episode, but I scoured most of all the content, including a lot of this stuff on here actually is all stuff that no one's ever heard before, because I start recording the second I connect with you online, just as a, I don't know, that's what you do. Just make sure you grab everything, and
right.
And sometimes we get talking and I'll forget whether or not I've started recording. It just is easier that way. But the bonus is that all this extra just
gold.
Oh my god. Well, it depends on how you look at it, man.
I mean, as soon as I pick up, as soon as I put the headphones on, I just start spewing gold, spitting fire.
Well, I mean, that's one thing I've learned.
Recording or not.
Listening through all these hours, there's never a verbal misstep on your part.
No.
It's pretty great.
Well, should we start with you're listening to Single Podcast Theory?
Well, no. So one of the things is
no. All right.
What do you mean?
Nothing. Go on.
No. I don't think I understood what you just asked.
I just want to reset real quick, like the top of the show, to let everyone know who we are, in case this is someone's first episode.
Oh, I gotcha. Yeah, absolutely.
That's all I meant.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So we are an all Pearl Jam podcast, but you will hear very little about Pearl Jam on this particular episode because we're celebrating our 100th. I mean, obviously there will be Pearl Jam content in here of some sort because that's what every episode is about. But this is kind of a look back at the last...
A B&B experience.
I know,
Please
man.
Indulge us.
So, first of all...
If not, just, go back and listen to one of the other 99 episodes.
There's plenty
where we just gush about Pearl Jam. But please, give us this one episode, this 1 week to... take a look back.
And those of you that your least favorite part of the episode is us just, shooting the shit, then this will not be an episode you will enjoy very much.
We'll just apologize up front, and we won't. We'll still love you if you don't listen to this one.
Yeah, man. We'll be back with the Pearl Jam
content
next week.
Yeah.
So one of the things that struck me going back, Brad, is now this is just a really simple, basic observation. It's so funny to go back and listen to those. I mean, I would say it took a good 20 episodes. I can hear the nerves in my voice. especially in the first 5 to 10. I can hear it in the way I'm breathing or not breathing. It's just so funny. And now it's like, neither one of us think about it at all. Probably to a fault. We've gotten so comfortable with it. We're just like, oh yeah, let's hop on at this time and we'll figure out something to talk about. I mean, we're not really that bad about it, but you know what I'm saying?
I do. Yeah, I was telling somebody today in an email, like, listening back to those first few episodes are rough for me. You sound professional because you've done this way more than me. But I can hear it in my voice that I'm just struggling to sound halfway. I don't know if a professional, but just,
that you're making sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And not sounding like a douchebag, like, oh, well, I know everything about Pearl Jam.
Yeah. I mean, it is funny to go back.
There's a little bit of that in there.
I mean, you are the perfect Pearl Jam fan. We know that. I mean,
no.
Yeah.
Like I've said many times, I thought I was a super Pearl Jam fan until I started trying to do the whole rail thing.
Right.
Then you run into the super fans if you go to a GA line.
I love it. I'm glad I experienced it.
Yeah. Me too. I just can't live that life, but I can. I just can't live
that way anymore, man.
I can visit, one show, a tour.
So we can't talk about this show at all, much less the 100 episodes that we're in now, without talking about the many, many lovely people we've met along the way, whether that's through email or in person. And that's the other thing that really, it's not anything that I'd forgotten about or taken for granted, but when you're skimming through all these episodes and you just hear all these names and remember these emails that were sent in, and in some ways it was completely overwhelming, and I just thought, I don't even know how to do this. You know what I mean? Like, put something together for 100 episodes. So I don't know if this will be fun at all, but it did bring back a ton of memories, and we haven't even, it's not like this is our 10-year anniversary show or something,
right?
You know what I mean? But some of that does feel like so long ago.
Yeah.
And it hasn't been all that long, so it was really fun and nostalgic to go back and listen, and especially how much we get more and more comfortable with each other again, for better or worse, as each episode went on. At first, it was, we talked about this before, I believe, as well, but at the beginning it was we were both very, now explain to me what you mean by that again.
Right.
I just want to try and understand kind of vibe. And now we're like, hold on a fucking second. What did you just say? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah, we need to go back. Again, it's the same email is talking about listening to the second episode where we talked about 10. We need to do another run on 10. We
do. I think it's time to go back and kind of fill in gaps of some of the. I mean, they weren't gaps there intentionally, but obviously with hindsight, it's like, man, I think it'd be cool to do a 10 episode now. For example, since we've gotten so much closer and we've gotten closer with listeners and other fans, and it might be actually, because sometimes that feels like a cop-out, like, oh, they ran out of shit to talk about, when podcasts do that sometimes.
Yeah.
But I feel like we would actually have a legitimate, I don't know, reason to go back and do some of that stuff,
We have a special guest real quick. You want to say hi?
Okay, which one was the guest? The slide whistle or the dog?
I guess we have two guests. No, Amanda when we started recording, I started freaking out because I didn't have my slide whistle. So I texted her to bring it to me.
It's like your whoopee. You had to make sure you had it.
Yes.
Hey, what's up, Amanda?
Because, he texted me and he was like, "Can you please bring the slide whistle?" And I was like, "I can't do that. I don't know how." But then I was like, but he's my dad, and I feel like I have to, obey what he wants.
Of course.
But I know that Brad hates it. So I'm like, I don't know what to do.
Hey, you know what?
So I'm really sorry. And
Well, they say it's
I'm
the
sorry
thought that
if it
counts.
puts you in a bad mood. And I will take responsibility for that. So
Can she hear
yeah,
me?
I hope you're having a good day.
Yes.
Okay, so it's the thought that counts, and I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I appreciate
Well-
that you obeyed your father's orders, but part of you is like, I got to look out for lines.
Yeah, well, he did send that like 15 minutes ago, so I've been contemplating it for 15 minutes.
I like your style.
Well, I hope you're having a good day, and I hope you had a good 4th of July.
Thanks, you too.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Bye, Starlin. All right.
Actually, it's kind of fitting that she popped in for the 100th, too. I think
Yeah,
she's actually
she's
part of
part of
some of
this.
these clips.
Oh, cool.
So let's just do this real quick, because this is, I mean, obviously I could, okay, so I was a little overambitious at first. I was like, I'm going to go through all 100 episodes and find every
Yeah.
person's name from every person that emailed us and blah, blah, blah. Okay, so that's not happening. But I did think it was really cool just in the first 5 episodes, which is maybe 6 episodes, which is what I kind of stuck
Right.
with.
When they started rolling in.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
so cool to hear what those first names. Actually, let's just listen to it.
Get right into it.
Yeah, I'm going to start with our first new friend, the first person to email us. This is, and I'm going to go ahead and apologize about pronouncing names. Just going to get that out of the way. Kurt Segrist, Michael Redlin, Nick Roller, Neil Hansen, Clint Wells, Steve Little. All right, what else you got?
All right. Catherine Cotton. What's up, Brad and Brad? I can't even begin to tell you how excited I am about this podcast. Me too, Catherine.
This is from Patrick, I think it's Bogle?
Bagel?
I'm going to say Bagel.
Yeah.
Because I fucking want to. Hey, Patrick Bagel. I'm just kidding, man. No, I'm not. You're Patrick Bagel now. Tony Tamby. Tom O'Neill. Jake Harris.
Matt Summers. Michael Thompson. Dave Omen. That is Rummy. Thank you, F me in the brain.
Thank you, F me in the brain. I just had to end with that one.
I love it.
I mean,
Yeah,
because that was Reddit or something, right? Or the Pearl Jam actual form, the porch.
That's the porch, yeah. That's the porch. And Rummy is, I think, from the porch, too.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, so how eerie was it to hear all of those names in context of it's the first time they've written in, but
yeah.
I mean, Kate and Bagel are, I don't know, man. Those are the two that stuck out the most because we've ended up having such like a continuous, consistent conversation with them. I mean, not just them, but as far as from the beginning, that's what's weird about it is like, episode Kate, I almost did it. Kate's was episode 5, and so was Bagel. Actually, they both emailed the same episode for the first time.
Yeah.
And to hear you not even know whether to call Kate or Katie or Catherine or which we got into in future episodes, but to just hear your voice saying that and you at that time have no idea who she is. And that we would end up all hanging out at 2 Wrigley shows together. And she would have a podcast now. And we're in episode 100 and we still get emails from Bagel.
Yeah. Yeah. And Catherine. Catherine. You know, it's crazy. Like, I don't want to get into like a teacher's pet situation here, but Kate seriously was like the first email that we got that was like, you could just hear it in her words, like how excited she was for Pearl Jam and for our show. Yeah. You know, and we've gotten tons of those over the 100 episodes, but she was the first one that I was like, oh, maybe we're onto something here, you know?
No, I agree. I remember all those first ones because, I don't know, there was something about the emails that it's like, oh, we have listeners. Like, if we don't fuck this up, we've got like really smart people that are going to continue to listen to us. Holy shit.
Yeah, well, Bagel always comes at us with something like not over my head, but something brilliant that I would never think of.
Sure.
You know? And then like Barker always sends us something that's like hilarious every other word. He's one of those dudes, I bet he's like a Will Ferrell or who's someone else. They just walk in the room and you just immediately start laughing.
Right.
Like they don't even say anything. They just have that like funny aura.
Yeah.
I bet Barker's that guy.
I totally agree. I think he is. But he fools you too. Here's the thing. And then, because otherwise we're going to have to like talk about every listener that we've gotten to be like friends with or whatever. But oh, that dog, I love it.
Yeah.
Barker is one of those.
That was not a tape.
He is one of those people that by email he comes off as jokey and funny and not very serious, but Barker is extremely thoughtful and serious and kind, and you know what I mean? Like, it's been cool to get to know, because he's one of those people that specifically I remember his first email, because I remember thinking to myself, I wonder if he's just like this in email or if he's like this in real life, like all the time. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it's a little bit of both. In a good way, you know what I'm saying? Like, he is that funny and that whatever, but it's not a for some people that's like a defense mechanism, and they don't know how to be vulnerable or, you know what I mean, express feelings or that kind of stuff. But that is not him.
Like, not me.
Yeah, right. Well, there's another thing from early on, and I apologize if we've thought about or talked about this moment, but it was one of those, you know, looking back, nostalgia things, but I totally forgot about this clip.
You're going to get a big bear hug, so
Hell
just be
yes.
ready.
I'm known for my hugs, dude.
Oh, cool. All right.
This is going to be like hug explosion.
Yeah.
I dig it. All right. We'll see you guys next week.
Please don't
what'd you say?
Please don't say hug explosion. I'll hug you, but let's not go there.
Does it make you feel funny?
It brings up some weird imagery. So
Oh man, Nashville, October 3rd, Hug Explosion.
yeah, come on.
That's gonna be my next band name, Hug Explosion.
Remember Hug Explosion, Brad?
I do. Hashtag hug explosion.
From way back in the beginning.
Yeah,
There's
that's before we met.
Hug Explosion. There's hashtag swoon.
I can see the picture in my head of when we first met and had our actual hug explosion.
Yeah.
It was a Mexican restaurant with Clint.
Yep. I can't remember which one. I mean, I know where it is. I don't remember what the name of it is. But
I pass it all the time. Every time I pass it, I get a little misty eyed.
A little misty eyed. There's been some there's some things that have died off, thank God. And, you know, whether they're catchphrases that came up or whatever. And one of them was yours. And we finally, I wish I could remember which episode we had the final breakthrough on this, but just a phrase that oh God, whatever. Here's a couple examples.
Oh man,
dude,
I'm metal, either. Dude. I'm metal.
I know.
I got a rock. I'm fucking metal, dude.
Get the fuck out of here, man.
Because they're not metal.
Oh God. Snoresville.
You and your metal. I'm just metal, bro. Which is such bullshit.
I know. Well, I mean,
you like
we
metal.
we all lie to each other, ourselves, you know.
I'm glad you've had that the kind of inner realization, that epiphany for yourself. That's good.
I mean, I thought I was metal. I thought everyone knew I was metal. But it took me a long time to come to the realization I was never metal.
No. I mean, you wore the T-shirt.
Yeah.
You know? You wore the metal T-shirt. You had the uniform.
Yeah.
You're not metal, man.
I mean, I'll go mosh it up. But I never took the next step to being full-on metal. Like,
did you say I'll mosh it up?
Yeah, dude. I've been caught in many a mosh.
I believe that. I believe that. Just a young, angry, confused Brad, just taking out all his aggression in the world in the mosh pit.
Young, old. I mean, it was last week.
Last week?
Yeah.
You were moshing last week?
When did I see you? 2 weeks ago?
Something like that.
Yeah, Knocked Loose. Day to Remember.
Oh, that's right.
They mosh. They're moshing it up. I'm trying to get Amanda to mosh it up. She wants to, but she's scared at the same time.
Well, you are not metal, but you are kind of a monster. That's one thing I've learned about you. And one of the ways that you're a monster is, God, I hope I haven't labeled this clip correctly.
Are we gonna? Can I ask you this real quick?
Yeah.
Are we gonna hear any like? I'm sure you're gonna say no. I would love for people to hear some of the stuff that you have just totally censored.
Dude, you wouldn't believe some of the shit I found. Like, I need to find like a private server to upload it to, so only you and I can listen to.
Right.
No, I mean, it's not that bad, but
there's
some moments where we definitely take some liberties because it's just me and you, and we understand each other. You know what I'm saying?
Well, there's a few that is just me saying some censored
some
stuff
crazy shit.
That your reaction. You should play them and bleep it out, but just like to hear your reaction.
Well, let's
your reactions to my awful things is like my favorite part of the show.
Well, let's see what this clip is. It might. Let's see. So do you need to take a shit? Do you need a cigarette? Are we, This is good. This is good, man.
You know what?
I
might
really
have to
opened
take
some doors here. Huh?
I'm sorry. I think I do have to take a shit.
I knew it. I knew if I fucking stalled, if I just stalled for another 60 to 120 seconds, you were going to settle in and realize that there was 15 things you needed to do.
No, I'm
That's
ready.
Awesome. Nope, let's take a shit.
I'm ready. It's just, I think I got sat down and got ready to go, and now I'm relaxed.
Yeah.
And everything's like, now it wants to come out.
Well, yeah. So, does it need to come out?
Yeah, I'll be back in a minute.
Oh, God. Okay.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
I literally have to take a shit now.
Oh, God.
You worked it up. You got me worked up.
I mean, so here, okay, we're kind of flying by the seat of our pants in a sense here. I actually wasn't expecting that clip based on how I labeled it. My fault, but I was going to play it.
Yeah, that's still pretty monstrous.
Oh, yeah. Well, here's the whole thing. I could have done a 45-minute episode just on B-roll of shit conversations from you. Because what you just heard of, ladies and gentlemen, is a very small snapshot of what it's like to get the recording going every single week. Because that's what happened, right? We've caught up for the week. If we haven't talked that much, we've kind of gone over bullet points of what we're going to talk about. I say, hey, are you ready? And you're like, yeah. I'm like, all right, here we go. And you're like, hold on a minute.
Well, in the moment, I am ready.
And it's not like, hold on a minute. Oh, let me grab the pen that's on the other table. It's, oh, wait. No, I need 15 minutes to go take a dump.
Well, in the moment, I'm ready. And then it's like a switch gets flipped. And, it's on. And I got to go.
It's got to happen.
Yeah, it's coming, whether you like it or not.
Oh, boy.
I could move this rig into the bathroom with me.
No. Oh, God, I just had like a mental image. That's terrible. Let me see what we got up here next. That seems kind of boring now. Did you just light a cigarette?
No.
Oh.
No, no.
Well, here's just a bunch. You know what?
Yeah.
I'm not even
What
gonna
you got?
I'm not even gonna try and intro this next thing. Here's a bunch of random clips. Let's see what we got here.
Yeah, sure. By crazy stuff, do you mean that we're days away from the Earth opening a giant hole like a mouth in the center of the Earth and swallowing us all alive? And
He didn't
the
mention
world is going to be over?
He didn't mention that.
Whatever, Brad. Whatever.
Fuck it. I'm
Blaze
going to
Act.
Disney World. We're done.
We're all going together.
Yeah, oh, dude. Get on Critters Buggin'. They are like
I just want to hear you say that.
Critters
over and over
Buggin'.
Get on fucking iTunes, man. Critters bugging.
Stone Zone.
He's in the stone zone.
That
the
was something.
motherfucking stone zone. What if I really sang like that?
Dude, the Lion's Den.
Oh god, that's so terrible. Welcome to the Lion's Den.
Yeah. Oh God.
What?
Nothing. All right. I guess we're ready, huh?
Why is everything the end of the world? You are the epitome of the boy who cried wolf. To the point now where you make a noise that would normally concern me, I just don't care.
Yeah, I'm good.
Just ignore it.
He's good.
This is my friend Brad. He don't worry about him. He's fine. He just has a very untraditional communication style. It involves a series of eye twitches, facial expressions, grunts, and guffaws. Do you like that?
That's a pretty good way to describe me.
Yeah.
Did you see that email from that guy that said he couldn't be friends with me?
No.
He said he just wants to slap me.
Oh my God.
Yummy. Yummy. Limp tool. Come on, man. All right.
That'd be the worst too if someone really laughed like that. If, you know, when you're trying to tell a story, and you still think the story is hilarious, so it makes you laugh when you're telling it, that'd be the worst. Because they'd be like, okay, so I've got to tell you guys. Oh my God, it was, I don't even know if I could. That'd be terrible.
Yeah, for both parties involved.
Yeah, for everybody. I don't know though. Maybe you know, if I had that affliction, maybe I wouldn't really notice it, because I was used to it.
You wouldn't be self-aware enough.
Yeah, I mean, because some people, let's be honest, some people's laughs, man, like you hear them laugh in public, and you're like, you either don't give a fuck, which I love. I love it. That's great. That changes my perception of this terrible laugh that you have, or you're just not really aware of it.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
It can't be in the middle. Ugh. Holy shit.
Ooh,
Okay.
I might have to take this shirt off.
Oh my God.
If they don't complete this, game's probably over.
Do you kind of have conversations with yourself?
Yeah.
Is that...
What do you mean? I was talking to you.
I know. I'm just saying, though.
Yes, in my mind, yeah. Doesn't everyone?
You, think out the whole sentences in your head?
Yes.
Really?
No, I don't.
No, be honest. You do. You do, don't you? You don't go... When you want a sandwich, it's not like this just understood, kind of conceptual thing that's in your head. You actually think, I want a sandwich.
right?
Yeah.
Oh, man. You need to be studied by science.
Yeah.
All of science.
Ooh, look at those cheerleaders. The cheerleaders are wearing
Exactly.
like a Mrs. Claus like onesie.
Man, I just keep dropping markers over here. We can keep the rest of the episode super short because we're going to have 45 minutes of this shit.
of outtakes.
Yep.
Hey, I'm just glad to be talking to you. Oh, Barker. You just know him from like the scene, or have you like worked with him?
Not worked with him. He writes. Oh my!
Yeah.
What the fuck was that?
Nothing. I'm listening.
Wait a minute. What was that?
That was me reacting to the Bears almost getting a sack.
It sounded like you had a female under a pillow, and she was trying to get away. And then you were like, "Oh,
you can
nothing.
hear
I'm
that?
listening. Go ahead."
You need to have a conversation with Amanda about me watching sports.
Okay.
Because she
I'm going to
hates-
call her up tonight.
Yeah, call her.
What's up,
okay?
Amanda?
Yeah,
Hi, Brad. Let's talk about
Because
sports. Okay.
I'm prone to outbursts. And she gets
just when you watch
upset.
sports?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, just when you watch sports.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Only when I watch sports.
Yeah.
I mean, that was just a little smattering of what I had. What'd you
Just
think
a
about
taste.
listening to that?
I mean, there's some gold nuggets in there.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much that I was just laughing so hard to myself, but I just couldn't,
Right.
in good conscience, put it, out for public consumption. Just
At the time.
at the time. Well, no. What I'm saying is that, like, I was kind of hindered in what I felt comfortable in putting on these little clips.
Oh, right.
Like, this is the safe stuff.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean,
Man,
not like, I don't know, but
I forgot about the Lions Den.
oh my God.
We need to bring that back.
No, we don't.
Why not?
It's I don't know. Yeah, go for it.
It's perfect. It's so perfect.
The Lion's Den.
That's what your next solo episode should be. Welcome to the Lions Den. I'm your host, Brad Lyons.
Have some really. Oh my God, I loved that part. I mean, that's the only reason why I put that clip in there. To be honest, was the roar.
Yeah. I'll be your what you call it? What is that called in the business? The guy that does that part.
The announcer.
Yeah, is that what it is?
Yeah.
I'll be the announcer.
For my solo episodes, this is what we'll do. We'll record live. There will be no conversation between the two of us, but I'll just do what I normally do, to just kind of riff like I do on the solo episodes, and you just be there to provide sound effects as you see fit.
I could do that. No problem.
That would be insufferable.
And do I have carte blanche?
Yeah, but it's never going to happen.
Oh.
No, it should totally happen. It'll be a little experiment.
Yeah. All right. That'd be fun.
So we have, and you can tell me if this stuff's not okay, because we had some, some funny moments. So we also had some like touching moments, especially around you, and going all the way back to episode 2. And I hope this is okay, but I don't know. This is the first. Your father passed away, right when we got to know each other. It was crazy. It was awful, obviously.
Yeah,
but it came up in episode 2 because we were talking about 10, and
release
guess what song we started talking about? And we had kind of like I guess we hadn't really talked about it, but we definitely hadn't talked about making the passing of your father like a topic to talk about or whatever.
Right.
But then we get to release, and it's just like, well, how can you not talk about something like that? So
yeah, that was a weird human moment in my life, you know.
Sure.
Because we had been planning for months, weeks. You know, we had talked and we're going to do it on this date, and it was coming up, and then that weekend my dad passes away.
Right.
You know, like the day before.
Yeah.
But man, you were like, well, we don't have to record, dude. And I'm like, no, I need to. Like, I need to get away from what I've been going through the last couple of days with him. So
yeah. No, that's been one of the good things about, you know, we joke around about being tired sometimes or not having a lot of time or whatever, but the reality is, man, like, sometimes you feel like everything's too hectic, but every time we've actually sat down and gotten online with each other, that's been the other cool thing about it. Even if maybe the episode sucks or something, it was good for me to get away and just talk to a friend about music and forget about it for a couple hours.
yeah.
That's been a really good thing for me personally. But yeah, here's a little clip about from episode 2.
So it's just, but you know, here, not to get too dark, but my father recently passed away.
Yeah, man.
And it's like, it's taken on a different meaning, you know. It just the first, you know, that line about, dear dad, can you see me now? I'm like you somehow.
Yeah.
It's just like, holy shit. Like,
Well, and
I don't know.
Not to
It's
bear
just-
down into it, man, but, you know, for the listeners, like, you say recently, like, you're
Yeah.
talking 3 days ago this happened, man,
Yeah.
from
Yeah.
the time we're recording this. And it's like, I mean, and that's the thing coming back full circle to some of the things we've talked about.
Yeah, it was crazy. We got straight into it. Episode 2,
Yeah.
you know? It's been cool, though. I mean, that's the other reason why I had to be, you know, I couldn't put everything I wanted to on some of these clips is like, you know, I put a lot of funny or things that I think is funny or in context or whatever of this show. But there's a lot of stuff in those times that we're recording before we actually start doing the show where, you know, there's a lot, we talk about a lot of personal stuff too.
Yeah.
And not to be selfish,
Yeah.
but that's the other thing that I wanted to at least mention through all this is that, like, I've legit gotten another really good friend out of this, doing this podcast. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
that's been really good for me. So,
Yeah.
just on a selfish note,
Yeah.
you know?
No, I mean, there's stuff that we've gone deep, you know, in our conversations. Just, you know, sometimes there's shit going on in both of our lives, and it's time to record, and, you know, we'll talk about life stuff for an hour, you know.
Yeah. Well, speaking of, you know, all this kind of stuff happening just while we happen to be recording, not even in the middle of doing the content for an episode, like, here's I thought this was really sweet, and we can take this out if you don't want it in there, but here we go.
Oh, boy. Did you like that? It's so beautiful, you're crying. It's cool, right?
I feel the thunder inside my breaking heart.
I'm sorry. It's a good song, huh?
It still gets me without the music.
I love you too. You see that? We shared a moment with Brad Lyons.
Oh no, no,
That was one of the coolest things I've ever heard in my entire
I'm
life.
gonna go hide. No.
What's that?
I said that was one of the sweetest things I've ever heard in my entire life.
Now she's all
You
embarrassed.
better edit that.
He said it was one of the sweetest things he's ever heard in his life. We've had a rough couple of days here, and I played a song for her. And
You two just renewed my hope in humanity.
Good.
Aw. So sweet.
Yeah, that was, we hadn't even started recording yet, and I had played a song for Susan, my wife, and I had came into the room to talk to you, and like 4 minutes later, you hear what happens. She comes in and she's just bawling and can't even talk, and that's why I'm like asking her, like, did you like that song?
Right.
So yeah, I mean, stuff like that. That's cool. Like you were saying, like having the button, pushing the record button as soon as we hook up.
Yeah.
Stuff like that happens.
For sure.
I remember too, like Amanda was, I think, walked in here, and I asked her, like, I think I asked her what her favorite Pearl Jam memory was, and she said seeing Ernie Banks at Wrigley with me, when they played at Wrigley, and that, like, that would have been like the last thing I thought she would have said, and I don't know if people could hear it, but I was just like, whoa. And she's just like, well, because you like Pearl Jam and you like Ernie Banks. And I just was like, I didn't even think she understood what was happening at the concert in that moment, you know? And so.
It's cool, man. We got to go to, I mean, think about just the Chicago trip.
Yeah, I was thinking about that the other night.
Like all the people we got to meet. We met Bobby on that trip. We met, I mean, I'm going to forget so many people's names. I know. Met Armand on that trip. We met
Joey Goodsir.
Yep. We got to meet Danny B in person.
Mm-hmm.
It was so cool.
Bill?
Yeah.
Bill.
I always mess up his last name. Castrovinci?
Yeah.
I think that's close enough.
Yeah, I'll take it. Who's the dude from Canada that we talked to about? Well, you talked to him about
Clay Davis.
Clay Davis.
Dude,
yeah,
come on, that dude. He's awesome. So many people. See, now I feel like I have to like.
I know we have to think
name.
of everyone,
I'm not even
because
do that. I wasn't prepared. I didn't have a list of names. Everyone we met in Chicago. That was awesome.
Oh. I know. I'm thinking of who gave you your ticket, the night one. You were in GA with.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Reuben.
Reuben.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was awesome.
Oh man,
he was the perfect. I've said it before. He's like the perfect person to go to a show with because he's like me. He was like chill. You know what I mean? He wasn't like one of those people who's like trying to talk to you through the whole show or. It's like we were both there, just like standing next to each other in GA. Yeah, it was fucking awesome.
Ruben's a good dude.
Yeah, man.
Robin.
Yep.
Who's the other? Who's her friend? Gina.
Yep. Gina, that's right, man.
Man, see, we're not singling you out if we don't remember you. We're just trying to think of names off the top of my head. Man.
Well, I think we've made the point. We got to meet so many people and hang out with them during that trip. It's just funny. I never thought I would have kind of almost like friendships, I guess, with people just online. Right? Mm-hmm. Like so many people, listeners that we've never gotten to meet in person.
Yeah.
It was kind of like when you and Amanda came and she hung out for that one episode recently. I didn't realize it hit me later that I had never met her in person. Right. It just felt like I had, you know what I mean? Like, obviously, I've already met Amanda, but I'd never had. And I think about someone, again, like Barker or Bagel, that sometimes I'm like, oh, I've never met these people in person.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But these
are like Janan.
Janan, yeah.
Like Janan has met Kate and Aurelian. And we haven't,
right?
But it feels like we. It's like, I know this sounds crazy, but it feels like I was at the show with them in Amsterdam.
Yeah, it doesn't feel so far away.
Through their pictures and emails and talking to Janan like over the last year and a half. It does. It feels like, oh, we met her. Remember? No, we didn't. Right. You know.
Yeah, man. So all that to say, the overall point just is that, you know, I don't know. As we've said before, this is a Pearl Jam podcast, but it has become what's the right word for it? I mean, it definitely is a community, but
Yeah,
It's a whole
totally.
kind of subset of people.
We've always said from the first episode, we wanted the show to be about the people listening that are also fans. And we want to include them and have conversations with them, you know, because the way I looked at it was like, I did like the GA line a few different times. And I would talk to these people and make friends with, you know, virtual strangers. But because of the love of this band, like we could all, you know, it would help me to talk to people because that's like, I can talk about music. I can talk about Pearl Jam, even though normally I wouldn't.
Right.
I wouldn't just start talking to people in real life. But if I go to a concert, it's like, we're all here for Pearl Jam. Let's talk about Pearl Jam, especially if you're in the GA line. Like, those people are super passionate, and it gave me a chance to talk to people, whereas I normally wouldn't. And all that to say, like, that's what I wanted this show to be, was about people that have the same passion that I do, or have more passion than I do.
Yeah.
And that's something that has totally happened, you know, through emails.
Sure. Well, and I get kind of, I back off of saying things like I'm about to say, just because it so easily can come across as, I don't know, self-important of us as hosts of a podcast or whatever. So I'll just go and preface it by saying I am not. The whole point of what I'm going to say is that watching all these people meet through, because all we're doing is doing a podcast, right? And then all these people start meeting just because they hear someone else's email being read. And then I just remember the first time people were asking, like, can I have permission to get so-and-so's email address? Would that be cool?
Right.
And, you know, emailing them and them saying, of course. And then through it, it's almost easy to miss sometimes because it's been 100 episodes and we do it every week. And it's just kind of like this constantly moving thing. But when you stop, I guess that is a reason why these, you know, like the 100th episode marker is like a big deal on things like podcasts or whatever. It's because it gives you this opportunity to like kind of stop for, in this case, a week, and like look back at 100 episodes of doing this, 100 weeks of doing this, and you start realizing that just by sitting down with a guy and talking to him about a band and just kind of leaving it open, like all these people have done things for other people, whether it's, and we're not talking about saving lives here or anything like that. Right, I just mean, you know, there's this group of people that when they hear that there's this dude that lives in a country that doesn't really have open internet access and he would love to have all these bootlegs, we immediately get emails from people saying, can I have this guy's email? Because I'm going to give him access to my like server collection of Pearl Jam boots, and I'd love to share it with him. Yeah. It's like, you know, people making donations to, you know, things like Music Cares.
Right.
Like,
yeah, in our name.
Relationships starting, friendships starting, other podcasts happening. It's just cool to watch all these people do these things, you know?
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Anyway, that just kind of...
No, we got an email today. Oh, I read it today, and he said... I can't remember the exact line, but he said something about thank you for being a part of my Pearl Jam experience.
Right.
And I just was like, holy shit. Like, there's somebody out there that loves Pearl Jam and includes us as part of that. You know?
Right.
Like, part of what he loves about Pearl Jam is listening to us talk about Pearl Jam. You know what I mean? Like,
sure.
I was like, whoa, because that's just like we're not Pearl Jam. You know what I mean? We're just a couple of dudes that love Pearl Jam, and we're friends, and we talk about them.
Sure.
And that's, in my mind, that's where it ends. But for this dude to say that and everything you just said is really humbling.
Well, it goes back to it's cool because it like really has nothing to do with us, and sometimes I get real down in the fucking existential dumps and just kind of think, no, I've spent so much of my life thinking that people are mostly good. but the bad can get pretty bad. But and I get away from that sometimes. But then I think about some of the listeners, just the listeners of this podcast, and the things that we've mentioned, and I'm being genuine when I say this. It kind of makes me go like, no, see, there's good people. I get to see good people do good things and not want any recognition for it, or you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And it's not like that happened one time with something that was brought up on the show. It was like consistent, and it's not just one person that kind of answers the call. It's always like, oh shit, okay, we've got 5 people to contact to make sure that they're cool with us sending emails and all this kind of stuff. It's like, so again, it's been good for me as a human being to be in some way a part of these people's lives. So thank you all.
Thank you. And people have sent us stuff, like just sent us gifts, I guess.
Yeah, totally.
It's just it's crazy.
It's cool. People are good, man.
Yeah.
Some of the time, at least.
Yeah.
What else are we missing? What else are we missing, dude? Something else we're gonna hate that we didn't talk about?
I don't know.
You can't really sum up 100 episodes, but did want to definitely take the opportunity to say thanks to everyone that listens, especially if we haven't talked about Pearl Jam really once, and if you're still listening at this point.
What does Pearl Jam mean to you, Brad Lyons? Let's throw some Pearl Jam talk in here.
Ooh. I don't know. I'm probably just getting caught up in semantics. I don't know.
Well, I just kind of threw that at you out
totally.
of nowhere.
I think that as I get older, one of the things I realize, like music being such a big part of my life, and I go back and I think about, now I'm an adult. I'm 41 years old, and I've still got a lot of life to live, hopefully, and a lot of changes, and you never know what's coming next. But when I look back at what's happened up to this point, I definitely kind of started going like, okay, why was it, for example, Pearl Jam when I was a teenager and not, there's a million other bands that I could have just absolutely fallen in love with at the time. But I didn't. It was, it was Pearl Jam and it was Zeppelin, like I said a million times. Of course, I loved Nirvana and a bunch of the other, I love Soundgarden, all that stuff. And I think looking back at the end of the day, I try sometimes to learn from the musicians or bands that I love. And I think at the end of the day, there's so many bands that I've learned little things from, but I don't feel the same amount of connection with. And when I look back, Pearl Jam just kind of, that feels like it's already me in a way. It feels very natural. Like if I listening to David Bowie is like listening to an alien to me, right? Mm-hmm. I love it. It's bizarre. It's beautiful. It's a lot of different things, but it's not the same as when I listen to Pearl Jam. And the way they approach, it's not just the music, it's the way they approach the music. It's the way they approached something like Ticketmaster. It's the way Eddie has never been afraid when he sees someone getting roughed up in the crowd. But from back in 91, he's never been afraid to be like, hold on, motherfucker. You know what I mean? Like he actually pays attention to the people around him. I can't believe I'm saying this about a band, but they've in some ways like taught me the way to grow up and look at the world and be compassionate and be angry, but put it into something good and be all those things that we feel when we listen to their music, So I don't know if I hope that made sense to you and wasn't just total rambling, but it goes way beyond. I think Last Exit's a fucking great rock song. Right. Yeah. It goes way beyond that. Yeah. It just feels normal to me. It feels at home.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's the way Eddie, especially, because he's the one that's out there, out front. But just the way, kind of what you're talking about, like they present themselves. And it seems like they've always been, honest and, God, what's another word for it? Like, they have integrity.
And
no matter
sincerity.
what you think, sincerity. No matter what you think about their politics or their stand on whatever issue, it's the way they present what they think and feel. Mm-hmm. That, and like the other thing is like just from a music standpoint, like I think it was Jeremy, as far back as Jeremy, Ed was saying like he doesn't like to say where the lyrics come from and what they specifically mean, because he realizes when people hear these songs, they attach their own emotional stuff to it.
Sure.
And by saying like, well, this song means X and Y and that's it, you take away that person's personal feelings to it.
Yeah.
And so like all these songs, you're able to really claim them as your own because you hear them, you hear the lyrics, and you say, well, I can relate to that because of that thing that happened in my life. So that's why I like this song.
Sure. Well, I'll tell you what, too, man, like hearing you talk and thinking more about this kind of impromptu question, which is, it's so funny because it's the simplest, almost like dumbest question, but it's great. You know what I mean? No, I don't mean... You know what I'm saying.
I do.
Right?
I know.
You're an
it's so
idiot,
simple
Brad.
And dumb.
No,
and like,
that's not. I'm sorry.
But
I'm like,
it's a great question.
I'm in the middle
great
of
question.
thought. It's just, it's so funny that it's a great
set.
It's so simple, but it's a great question. Like,
yeah.
One thing that is still, there's still.
Yeah, but it's you can't. It would take us 2 hours each to try and explain what this band means to us.
Sure, and everyone listening to this podcast.
And yeah.
That's. I won't even continue with what I was going to say. That's a good way to.
I'm sorry.
Good way. No. I'm being serious. That was great.
Okay.
I would have taken 5 minutes to just
to
probably
even
just say that.
Try to start. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm looking forward to 100 more episodes. Hell, I don't know. I didn't think we'd do 100, so I'm not even going to say what I think. But
I shouldn't say it, right? But I don't know if we do another 100.
That's a lot.
Is that am I putting
That's
a hex
a lot.
on it? Yeah.
No, but it's going to be interesting to find out what happens.
We'll just redo all 100 now that we're 100 in. Coming next week.
Yeah, now
10.
that we're better at producing them and
right,
like,
yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
we're going to redo all this shit.
Yeah.
No.
Well, you need to, because, people want to hear the songs. We got a couple of those emails over the months about adding them. People that have just started listening, they're like, dude,
because we didn't have the songs.
Like, when you talk about the songs on 10, you should put them in there. Because we used to not do that.
Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff like that. But.
So, yeah,
we'll figure it out. We always do.
Remasters.
Yeah, man. Well,
no, I would like to do 10 again. I mean, I don't know if we need to go through the whole catalog, but 10 would be cool.
I think that would be a good one.
That was one of our first. Essentially, that was our first episode.
Well, and it was also one of the few times, or one of the times that people were not happy with me. At all.
Yeah, because it's number 8 or whatever.
Oh, yeah. Here we go. Remember this?
Our rankings.
Here we go.
But I'm like, 10 is the fucking titan. You know what I mean? Yeah. 10 is just, I'm sure that's probably a lot of people's favorite album.
Sure.
And it's
and for good reason.
Right.
At number 8 is 10.
What? Dude. I'll be taking submissions for a new partner on this.
You didn't see that coming, did you?
No. That's just insane.
That's right. I have a Pearl Jam podcast, and 10 is number 8 on my list.
I'm still... Has that changed at all?
Probably not.
All right, well... I get it. I get your reasoning, but I don't have to like it.
You don't. You're right. It's America. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All right. Well, should we get out of here and get into the next 100?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I don't know
think
how to
we-
say it any other way from both of us. And then if you have something you'd like to say, but just thank you guys so much for listening to. For those of you that have listened from the beginning all the way up until now 100, we really appreciate it. And you guys are the reason why there's been 100 episodes, for sure. So we'll keep working hard for you guys. We really appreciate it. You got anything?
Yeah, I mean, just basically what you just said. Like, I didn't think. I always wanted to do a podcast, and I can't believe that the way it worked out. Which we've told that story 100 times,
Sure.
but just.
That's what
I don't
happens
know.
when you pair up with Beli.
Yeah.
I'm taking you straight to the
Yeah.
top, man.
Yeah. Yeah, and thank you, dude.
Yeah, thank you, man. I love
Thank
you, man.
Thank you. No, I love you too, man.
I know.
Just thank you for, every week after week being there for me.
Same here, man. Ditto. You're my boy, Blue. All right, that's it. Let's get out of here and
Yeah.
figure out what 101 is going to be.
All right.
All right, until next week, I'm Brad Lyons.
And I'm Brad Blazik saying, I got memories, I got shit.
Yeah, that was the perfect fucking quote. Good job, Blazy.
Yeah. Thanks, buddy.
All right, peace.
Later.
I died and you just stood there. I died and you watched. I died and you walked by and said, no, I'm dead.
Oh, we got to put a PS on the end of this as well because
Yeah, well,
there's
we couldn't let you go without a little
a little
extra.
something at the end. Now,
Yeah.
I put this at the
For
end.
the true fans,
For the
wait
trues?
through, they listen through the outro music.
Yeah. And you're still here, and that's a good thing because
Yes.
after we quit recording, I realized that I have a file here,
boy.
and it's 15 minutes long. Number one, so it
Holy
couldn't be. I
shit.
couldn't put it inside the episode,
Oh, this is awesome.
and it's. I'll just tell you, Brad, that it's titled "The CRISPR Drawer." Now, this story has been mentioned on the show before, never told in its entirety. Until now. And so I'm just going to tell you, too, that this is a Blazik story. So it goes without saying, there's a lot of fecal-centric talk in this. So if that's not your thing, I totally get it. And you can go ahead and
Just
skip.
turn it off.
You can go
Yeah,
ahead and turn it off now. But if your interest has been piqued, I now present to you
A shitty story.
some leftover banter from episode 78. This is called The CRISPR Drawer.
I had a shit in the back of the truck the other day.
The other day.
Yeah. Yeah, it's last week.
Well, all right. I guess we're gonna go ahead. Tell me. I gotta hear it now.
What? I mean, same old story. We were out in the middle of nowhere, and I couldn't wait.
Okay. All right. Oh God. Just you have to kind of walk me through this. Okay. So you're with someone or you're by yourself?
Now I'm with somebody.
Oh. Okay. All right. So
But they all know.
you're the shit guy.
Yes.
You're the guy with ass problems.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So you're on a delivery out in bumfuck wherever,
Yeah.
which is funny because you live in Paris, but we don't need to go over that. So you're really out in the middle of nowhere,
Dude,
right?
no,
So-
listen, Paris is like the big city around here.
Okay, yeah, but my point is that it's not. Just
I
for
know
context.
that.
I know you know that. I'm just saying for context. So,
Yeah.
because I mean, this may or may not end up at the end of the show. Well,
Right.
I hadn't really thought about it. Yeah. So, you are out with what's this person's name?
Dom.
This poor Dom. Okay, you're with poor Dom, and you've made the delivery, and you're heading back, or what?
Yes.
Where
Yep.
you've made the delivery, you're heading back, and you say, "Are you driving?"
Yes.
Okay, so you have a little bit more control automatically.
Yeah.
Right? Since you say, Dom, or as I will now call him, poor Dom, I'm about to shit my pants.
No.
What do you say?
I just pull in.
You don't say anything.
I don't say anything.
You just pull where?
Pull into a church parking lot.
Okay. So you prefer the church parking lots. Okay.
Well, there's literally nowhere else to stop. It's weird. This church like just comes out of nowhere. You're driving down these like back country roads and then boom, there's a church.
Never thought you'd be so happy to see a church, huh?
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
So you just pull over into a church parking lot with Dom.
Mm-hmm.
At what point does he say something? Like, why are we going to the church parking lot?
I start to get out and I'm like, I'll be right back.
Oh, you don't even say, bro, I'm about to go shit in a bag.
No.
Okay. Oh, God. Brad.
Because what's understood need not be discussed.
Oh, he just knows?
I mean, what else would I be stopping to do?
Exactly. I'd get the fuck out of the truck and run like hell if this guy that I was in a truck with just stopped randomly in a church parking lot in the middle of nowhere and just disappears into the back of the fucking Lowe's truck.
It's either...
I'd be like, this guy's gonna fucking kill me and wear me as a costume. Anyway, so you just nonchalantly grab a bag? You bag it?
No, because
I
knew.
Bag it. Oh, well, Brad. What about the sanitation, Brad? What about the germs?
Because I knew I didn't need a bag because we had an old refrigerator in the truck. So I took one of the drawers and like squatted over that.
You're a fucking animal.
Why? What else am I supposed to do?
Shit in a bag like a gentleman, tie it up, and throw it in a trash receptacle. Don't shit in an empty fucking refrigerator in the back of a delivery truck.
I mean, I need a bag. How do you hold the bag open?
I don't know, but it's not like you just started dealing with this kind of stuff, man. You learn techniques.
Oh, I've got a few different techniques. This was the best.
No, it sounds like you're hitting with a blunt object here. You're just that's a giant space to shit in too. A refrigerator?
No, the drawer.
Another you pulled another crisper drawer.
Yes.
That's just your thing.
Yeah.
Crisper drawer.
Yeah, because it's like it's the perfect size. It's not too big, you know.
And then you do what with the crisper drawer?
Throw it in the dumpster when we get back to the store.
When you get back. Okay. Ooh. Can we oh,
I mean,
God.
at least
you have to ask.
At least
I have to ask.
Put
Hold
it
on.
in the refrigerator.
What about the wiping, Brad?
Oh, I've got a big giant roll of paper towels that we carry with us.
So sorry, I just gagged.
Right. So
I'm assuming that those used shit rags go in the crisper drawer as well.
Yes.
What's is it just open and exposed in the back of the truck? Have you got it sealed off in any kind of way or contained, or is it just a sad crisper drawer with Brad's shit in it, just letting it all hang out?
It's just sitting out in the like quote unquote open of the truck.
Okay, so it's just this is. So you open the back of the fucking truck when you get back, and it just reeks like.
Oh yeah, that was pretty rough.
I mean, Brad, this is behavior of an insane person. Like,
I mean, what else am I supposed to do?
Well, I mean, there's options. if you're
give me some
prepared.
options.
I mean, you could take a bag and you almost put it in the crisper drawer and almost use that as a toilet, and then it goes straight into the bag, and then you wipe it, it goes straight in the bag, and then you tie off the bag, and it's done, it's contained, and you don't pull into your place of employment in their vehicle, open the back cargo door, and fumigate your work environment with the smell of your shit in the back of what I can only imagine is a very hot and humid truck at certain months of the year.
Certain months of the year. This was like a few weeks ago, so I sprayed it with Lysol spray.
Well, thank God. That was going to be my last question.
I mean, if you're out in the middle of the woods and you have to go, like it's an emergency, what else are you supposed to do? And the bag won't work because
but
the bag,
if you're out in the woods, then you just shit in the woods, man. That's cool.
It's
not ideal, but that's not at all like... It's not the same as shitting in a crisper drawer and just leaving it there until you get back to the fucking store and then opening the door where all your shit smell has been contained. And then what do? You walk the crisper drawer of shit and paper towels to the dumpster out back?
No, I mean, I pulled up to the dumpster.
Before you get back to the place?
Yeah, before I backed the truck in.
Well,
but I do understand what you're saying because, like, it was like the telltale shit all the way back to the store. Like, I was very aware that there's like a bomb in the back of the truck.
Yeah, but he doesn't know that.
Oh, he knew.
How? Because he does it too. Does he do it too?
No, but we got in when I got back into the truck, he just kind of had a smirk on his face, like, and he said, like, "Oh man, you did it in front of the Lord's house."
Why didn't you go into the Lord's house and take a shit?
I mean, this was like a Wednesday afternoon. They're not open.
Man, have you ever been to church? Wednesday night's Wednesday's a huge day for church. I don't know why, but it is.
The place was, there was nobody there. Let's just put it that way.
All right. Well. I mean, just saying there's got to be a better way, but, you know, you got to do what you got to do. It's not that I don't understand that you got to do what you got to do. I just think, you know.
The bag just wouldn't work because it wouldn't, there's no way to get a Walmart bag all the way over a crisper drawer. Because I used to, when I drove a truck over the road, that's what I would do. I would have a garbage can with a Walmart bag, like, lining it, and I would, like, squat over the garbage can.
This is getting way too visual for me.
And that worked out really good.
Sounds like it. How to shit in a bag with Brad Blazek. Brad, what's your solo episode going to be? Well, I'm going to walk you through the different ways you can get yourself out of a pinch, so to speak.
I've seen. I wish I could carry this with me on the truck. Like a bucket with a toilet seat nailed to it. But they would never let me, like, carry that with me on the truck.
Oh, but shitting in the back's fine.
Well, yeah, I mean, I take care of it as soon as I can.
Okay, so let's say that you had 2 deliveries to make, and this was in between deliveries, and you still had somewhere else to go.
That's happened.
Ugh.
I stopped at a Subway and used their dumpster.
Okay, so you don't keep it in there until you get to the next place. It's been removed
No.
by the time you get to the next delivery spot.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
God, I hope no one in HR from your company ever hears this.
It's listening. Yeah. Look, just for legal reasons, this is all hypothetical.
Yeah. I'm in case I edited a certain way. I've been asking Brad, if you're in a delivery truck, let's say, what kind of situations could you be in a kind of I don't know, let's say a Crohn's or IBS kind of way, like.
Yeah, but it's these are all situations Mike McCready has maybe been in.
Oh, for sure.
So that's how we bring it back around to Pearl Jam.
I mean, I got to the point with the booze, the bottle, where I swear to God, I had some sort of like alcohol-induced IBS of some sort, which I'm sure
you got some weird. Look, you got some weird shit stories too. Don't try and make me to be the weirdo.
No. Hold on. So I absolutely have shit stories. Oh my God, I have so much shit material and shame to go along with it. It's not even funny.
Yeah.
It's not about you having shit material, right? It's about all my shit stories involve, especially in the context of this conversation, as I'm thinking back on them, a lot of thought and grit, and I'm going to make it through this. What you do sounds like a lower level primate that has given up on life. Well, that's it. That's the show. Unbelievable. No, believable. It's like it's on cue. You've been sitting on that, as they say, for probably a couple minutes now, haven't you?
Just waiting to pull the trigger. Waiting for the moment.
Oh. Man, you had the safety off. It's so good that we get this out of our systems before we actually
start the show.
We would have no show.
I literally have to take a shit now.
Oh God.
You've worked it up. You got me worked up. Whew.
All right, you need to go take a shit? Fuck, I can get done. All right, we've just been fucking talking for an hour.
I know. All right, yeah, let me go take a shit, and then are we ready?
Yes.
Okay, I'll be back.
Okay.
Actually, sorry guys. Again, I guess this is a PPS. There's one
the
other
longest episode ever.
I know. This is one other clip that I forgot about, and if anyone, I realize that I might be slightly misrepresented in this podcast because you guys don't hear what I'm put through before you hear me say, "What's going on, Pearl Jam nerds?" Just trying to get the show started. Just the show started. It's so funny. I was putting these clips together today in the studio, and Van had to come by the studio, and
it's like, what
he was listening to some of this. He goes like, "Damn, dude,
what's wrong with that guy?
You got a lot of work. You do a lot of work, man." And he meant just like emotionally, just like he's listening to it, going like, "What a fucking disaster." So here's a little something, just again. I mean, this is probably 8 minutes worth of content, but it's just a small little slice of what it's like trying to get each episode started. Okay, for real, we're really done this time. Bye bye.
All right, so here we go. Brad, I am about to start the intro of the show. Okay?
Did you make a note to yourself to tell me?
No,
that?
I should have. I should have done that a long time ago.
But usually,
and I don't. The thing is that here's what I don't understand is that every time I say, "Okay, are you ready?" and you go, "Yeah," and I'm like, "All right, cool," and then I'll take my breath and I'll say it, and it's some variation of, I didn't, Brad Blazek, I didn't know we were going to start. Whoa,
Because
you took me by surprise. Wait a minute.
Usually,
I have it on. It's recorded. Me telling you, all right, you ready to go? And you saying yes.
Yeah, but normally you'll be like, "Are you ready to go?" And I'll be like, "Yeah," and you'll be like, "Okay, here we go. Let's do this." Then you'll start. Last week you were like, "Are you ready?" And I'm like, "Yeah," and you just were like, "Hey, everybody, welcome to Single Podcast Theory."
Okay,
and
this isn't about last week. This goes way deeper than last week. Week, I can give you last week. Take it. That's yours. Maybe I did it abruptly. That still does not matter at all. My point still stands.
Wow. Okay. I don't know.
I don't have the time, but god damn it, I'm gonna make the time, and I'm gonna build a fucking compilation of every time it's happened.
I'm not saying I haven't laughed every time or most of the time, but it's not always because I'm surprised.
Well, then what is it?
Because
I literally do it the same every time.
I'm just happy.
I mean, if there's anything that's consistent about this show, it's that I say the same words every time.
Okay, it's like if you were going to be like on TV, you know, and like, or just think like, I don't know, I've seen this on like TV shows, like the Brady Bunch, for example. I don't know if this would happen on the Brady Bunch, but like I've seen it before.
Well, first of all, before you go on, I just so you know, in context of this conversation, I usually watch TV, not TV. So we might not like have the same point of reference. I have much less experience with TV.
Are you
know what I'm saying?
Making fun of how I say TV?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Do I say it a different way than everyone else?
It's not TP with a V.
Right?
I was watching TV. Not TV. We sat down in front of the TV and watched our stories.
So, like, if someone's going to be on TV, like on the news or something.
Yeah, I'm going to be on TV.
And they're talking to, like, the reporter. Like, Greg Brady's talking to the reporter. And they're like, okay, well, this is what we're going to do, and I'm going to ask you about this. And then they're like, all right, ready? And he's like, yeah, cool, let's do this. And that red light comes on, and he just fucking freezes up. And he's
Is this a real Brady Bunch reference?
No.
Okay.
No.
Where did he come into this?
Because I have seen this scenario like on TV or like in the movies, but I can't think of one off the top of my head. So I'm using the Brady Bunch as an example.
Well, a really good friend of mine recently, her and her partner, really good friends of mine and Leslie's, and they've started coming. They moved to Texas, and it's kind of a regular thing now where they come and visit us over the holidays every year. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of the only time we really get to hang out. And I was talking to Courtney, and she was like, she described talking to me. She said, every time I get done with the conversation with you, I feel like I just came off of a LSD trip. That's what conversations with you are like. So if that's me, I would love to know how she would describe a conversation with you.
Tell her to listen to the show.
Oh, I bet she has. But it's just like, to illustrate your point, why a Brady had to be involved. Because
I couldn't think of any other TV show off the top of my head.
Right, which is my point. See, you just explained that like, oh, well, if I tell him this, it'll make total sense. No, that's what's weird about it, is that's the show that came to your head. The Brady Bunch?
Did you ever watch the Brady Bunch?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, couldn't you see that happening to one of those kids on that show?
Of course. You could apply it to any show, is my point.
I know. I know.
I love the fact that for you, in a pinch, your brain went, Brady Bunch.
Yeah, well, and there's got to be some subconscious reason for that. I bet you it did happen on the Brady Bunch. and it's in there somewhere. I just can't, recall it.
Jesus. What a fucking weird thing to say. Maybe I'm just really weird, and that's a totally normal thing to say. And I mean, I love it. I'm not. The thing is, I think you think I'm making fun of you. I'm not. I'm truly fascinated. And that's one of the things that has helped our friendship along so much, because we haven't really known each other that well, is that I am constantly fascinated and in awe of, I don't know. I just feel like you're one of those people where everything you think comes out of your mouth.
Oh, yes. All right, come on. What are we waiting for? Are you just trying to kill time so you can be like, I gotta go?
God. You're the one that... Every fucking time. Here we go. God. You gotta get my dander up right before we start every time.
He's dying over here.
I know. I can hear him wheezing.
I'm good. Let's go. Go ahead. Just start. You can start without me.
I can't start until you shut the fuck up. I can't start with you repeatedly telling me to start.
Okay.
Or with your wheezy laugh in the background. What's that cartoon dog?
All right, let's go.
What's going on, Pearl Jam nerds? You're listening to Single Podcast. Dude, we don't have time for this today, man.
Sorry. That was not my fault. No, she's doing it. Starbucks. All right,
sorry.
let's go.
Okay.
We're good.
The dog's scared.
Jeez. Come on. All right, go.